Xin what's up everybody? Alright, in this video today we're going to talk about did I leave America and come to Vietnam because I was a loser. Before we get into the video, I'd appreciate it if you smash that like button, leave a comment, and drop a subscribe. So yeah, I see this as a common misconception or just a commonly said thing about any expat that moves pretty much anywhere in Asia. And I'm talking all of Asia. So let's get into it. I'll give you what I think, what I don't think. Did I think I was a loser? Was I a loser? Also, weight update. We shot yesterday's weight video and I weighed 112. Today, I somehow weighed 107.4 this morning. I guess that's the power of water fasting. So, win, win, win. But yeah, we also have a Patreon where there's additional content on the Patreon if you want to do that. If you want to become a channel member, you can also get additional videos made for channel members only for as little as $2 a month. So, was I a loser back home in America? And did I leave America because I couldn't get any women? And, you know, I just couldn't make it there. I was a virgin when I moved here. Seems to be like a big tone taken with some people for expats that move abroad. Well, no, I was not. The last place I was living in America was in LA, Los Angeles, California. And I lived in Venice Beach, and I lived on the ocean. Literally in a $3,400 apartment per month on the ocean. I had a IT business for over 11 years that was pretty successful in its heyday. And it was still doing okay as I left. I would not have moved here if I knew that my IT business was going to essentially collapse 4 to 5 months within me moving to Vietnam. I had planned to do YouTubing and become a full-time YouTuber, but I always thought I'd have that additional income. So the type of IT I did is everything. Like, I would go to a company and I would sell them on everything. So like, I would build the whole in-house systems, the computers, the servers, set up the intranet, the internal network, do the security, like everything. I would custom tailor each place to exactly my thing. And then I would have them on like a retainer. They would pay like a retainer of hours. And that worked very well. That system worked very, very well. And once I would set up a business, I learned pretty early on in IT that just trying to fix someone else's hacked together shit, you're going to be there way more often and they're going to be spending way more money and they're not going to be stoked about that than if you set it all up in your system with your stuff to where it's not going to have any problems. So that took me a couple years. I had another friend that had a business. He did it the opposite way, which I thought was dirty. He would just continuously try to fix whatever their shit was. So he would book really long appointment times because he would let a client that had a computer that was like 6 years old that should have got replaced on the first service call, because it was just, there's not much you can do with a 6-year-old computer. I mean, it'll work, but like, you're going to be going there enough times to fix stuff more than likely than what it would cost to like absolutely just buy a new computer. So, but that's the way he did billing time. That was his, his thing was all about the billing time, because, charge $100 an hour for this stuff when it was in its heyday. Now it's significantly gone down. I think it's down to like $35 an hour in LA. I mean, it's drastically gone down. That is when I did start to formulate a plan to start to kind of get out of that business and figure out something else. I had already traveled around Southeast Asia. I had already knew Vietnam was cheaper, very nice. People are super friendly. I could get a really good apartment for literally a fraction of the price. And I like a nice apartment. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm at home a lot, so having a nice apartment is pretty key to success for me. I get pasture. There's no one over here today. I was just there the other night. Had a chicken burger. Now I'm on a diet, so no more chicken burgers. But anyways, so yeah, I saw Southeast Asia and a lot of other places, and it was kind of a toss-up between, what visas would house what thing, and it quickly became pretty apparent that the best visa situation at that time was in Vietnam, because you could come on a year tourist visa and have to do a 90-day visa jump. So you'd have to exit the country every 90 days, get a new visa stamp, and come back in. And for me, that's no problem. That's why the 30-day visa thing would be no problem for me either if I was back in that situation, because I would just use that as an opportunity to travel to other countries, which is what I did on that 1-year tourist visa. So yeah, as I got here, a lot of the companies I had contracts for actually went bankrupt. So right before COVID, businesses were already starting to struggle. Inflation was already happening. There was already bad things going on directly before COVID. COVID didn't just launch all this stuff in the shit, but it did help considerably, sure. I agree. Like, it totally helped a big percentage of things getting effed up and economy screwed and all that. But there was already something afoot in LA in particular. And the thing about LA is it's like a very cutthroat place. Like, somebody will say that you're buddy, they're really not. The second they can kind of screw you over, they'll screw you over. That happened to me multiple times. It was wild. Like, somebody you thought you would really know, but if they had an opportunity to gain off of your failure and expose, not even a failure, but just like take advantage of a situation, they would do it. So, and it quickly started to become like that everywhere in LA, you know. Of course, I had some really good, I did residential clients too, and I maintained a large percent of my residential clients. Those never went away. It was the business ones that went away. Because besides for some of the companies going out of business, other IT places were coming in and doing crazy quotes. They're like, I'll do it for, you know, we were getting quotes because like places I would show me the quotes because I've been their IT guy for like 5-10 years, some of these places. And it was nuts. These dudes were coming in at like $35 an hour. One guy came in at $50 an hour. Another guy $45 an hour. And there's a certain ratio of win to lose on that. Like, maybe if you have a team of dudes that you're paying like not much, $16 an hour, and you've got a bunch of clients, you could possibly make those margins work. For the most part, if you're a low staff place though, that the profitability there versus your time goes away really quick. And I do know a great deal about IT and Billy and all this stuff. I did it for a long time. I'm a Cisco engineer, got a bunch of other certifications. You know, I'm not too into tech anymore. Probably all the new shit I don't know much about. Like, it's just not my cup of tea anymore. I'm not in it. I think all these markets are going to be soon low paid wage jobs. I think even programming is going to be a low wage paid job very quickly. I was telling people this like 2 years ago when they were making so much money and all this stuff, and now all these companies are laying people off and they're getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So I mean, the writing's already on the wall. These jobs will get replaced by, like, what started happening in LA is the Indians from India came in and they were doing the IT so cheap. Like, it's cheap, so cheap. So like, it just jacked everything up, like the cheapness of it. So like, it became essentially not competitive anymore. Like, of course, the residential clients always paid good, but again, this is a time consumption times blah blah blah, and then hiring employees and maintaining employees is a whole different beast. Don't even get me started on that. Even finding like a good assistant to, like, I learned shortly, like within years of business, that like hiring an assistant to book appointments just didn't even work, because I was doing more work then. Like, you would have to have somebody really skilled for what I did, because I was driving around all of Los Angeles, all during different times of the day. And if you don't intricately know the city and know the rush hour times to each place, you could potentially have a tech out 6 hours a day driving in traffic and only able to then go to like 3 hours of work time appointments. So everything had to be strategic. You had to hire people in certain areas. You had to have a West LA guy, East LA guy, South Side LA. You had to have an Orange County guy. You had to have a Malibu guy, essentially. Like, that all adds up. So I kind of saw the writing on the wall of what was happening. I was like, wow, this isn't looking all that promising anymore. It's getting more and more competitive, and the wages are going down, down, down. I think my opening wage, as I was like in my last a business, if I was getting a new client, my opening wage for a business got all the way down to 75. And it was at 100 and 120, 150 in the early days. So I mean, because if you provide a quality product, like if you could go into a business, you're an IT guy they just hired, and they already had 2 different IT guys in that tried billing them for like 10 hours of shit and didn't even fix the problem because they said it wasn't fixable. And then you come in and you've seen this problem before and you fix it in an hour, you've just become a mega ultra valuable asset to them. They're gonna pay good money for that because they don't want to waste 10 hours of time. And companies need shit fixed right away. Like if you've got a company that is, for example, selling a product and then they're massively shipping that product from like a distribution center at that company, they can't have downtime. Like they're missing shipments, they're missing international shipments. It fucks up the entire thing. So like you really got to know your shit to be good in that world. So I don't know how good. What I started to see towards the end when the cheaper workers were coming in is they weren't figuring stuff out. You know, they were taking forever to fix it. But the companies didn't care because they got it in their head, like CEOs and people that would run money, got it in their head that IT shouldn't be expensive anymore. It became something that became like an expendable loss in the business. They're like, I don't think it should be that much more. I think it should just be $30, $40. I don't think it's $100 anymore. So like they got it in their head, like a lot of these companies, that paying super cheap for IT was the way. And then what they get? They got cheap results. I had a couple places that switched. I just had one reach out to me, I don't even know, a month ago, and offer me pretty decent money to come back to LA for a little bit and fix a bunch of their problems. Like probably a year's worth of wages here. I'm tempted to do it, but like, yeah, they switched off of me like, I don't know, 4 years ago for like a way cheaper, like I think it was $45 an hour company. And as they figured out after 4 or 5 years, the company did a really rotten job, and they've got lots of issues now. Lots of things need redone. And I run stuff in an older way. I'm not a big cloud guy. I don't think the cloud's very secure. That's the problem with the cloud, is it's not secure. I would still do in-house servers for stuff. And then, if the client really wanted on cloud, we would back everything up to a cloud type deal. But I'm not a big proponent of putting everything cloud, like your entire everything, and not holding any physical, database in-house. I'm sure the technology's improved on that, but you're still not going to persuade me to do that just because, I don't think it's a tremendous idea. I think it's a bad idea. Like I said, this stuff's probably changed. I haven't been in the game for 4 years, and I'm no expert. There's probably better people than me, but I knew my craft, and I thought pretty well. So yeah, that's what happened with the business. Eventually I lost enough businesses that went bankrupt that it kind of, the plan was to actually go back every 4 months and then do the business IT stuff. We'll run a lot of it remotely and then come back every 4 months, go in office, check on everything, and then go do the residential clients. So that ended up, did they got Winway closed off for building tech? Oh, they do. They got everybody pushed off to the other street. I think a little early to close the thing off, unless they're like working on it. So essentially that's what happened with the business thing. It went away. And as far as women, I always had girlfriends. And I had pretty girlfriends. I had girlfriends of all different races, all kinds of stuff. I'm not just a one-trick pony. I had sometimes super crazy attractive girlfriends, and then sometimes just like average looking girls. So I mean, as far as getting women, that was not really a problem for me at all. Even towards my end of the time in LA, when it became so superficial and like so crazy, like, and the cancel culture started coming in so hot to like where it got like fucking sleazy to even look at a girl in LA. Like, you have to realize, like, that cancel culture shit hit there before everywhere else. So like, I actually saw it happen in real time, and it was wild, absolutely wild. So yeah, in my opinion, I wasn't. I came here making residual income of like $3,000 every month. $3,500. So, you know, things didn't turn out perfect on that, but luckily I was able to pivot into, you know, doing YouTube full time and being okay at it, and then making enough money between all my hustles on it of like live streaming, you know, putting out 2 videos a day, just working really hard, and that's enough to where it pays the bills. You know, I'm happy with that. But I would not have moved here without the intention of having money coming in. And now we've got other things where we make a little bit of residual money. Sure, I'm still fat and I'm still broke, but I can at least pay my bills, you know. It'd always be nice to make more money, so I'm just gonna keep working hard. I've been seeing so many videos of like people shitting on YouTubers in comment sections. Like, there's this guy that's gone like viral on Instagram for like Bangkok clips, and it's like a kid, and all he's doing is shorts. It's nothing too all inspiring, but he's getting a lot of views. But at times he's posting misinformation. Like, he straight up really is posting. I don't see the cops coming down here. Boy. Oh, they are. Wow, the cops did come bust this up. Ran them out of here faster than you can say run them out of here. Oh, they're gonna get the balloon lady. Let's see if they get her. No, balloon lady's impervious. Got some TikToking over here. Shit, I forgot what I was talking about. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I can't remember. Hold on, let me pause. Oh, let me try to remember. It's a pain in the ass to scroll through the video. Oh yeah, we got some kind of performance of TikToking over here. Oh, okay, so the guy in Thailand, right? So there's this guy in Thailand, and he is making these shorts, right? And he's like putting out content about Bangkok and like stuff like this, like restaurants and things like this. And you know, he put a video out that said you can live in Bangkok with a nice apartment, with a view, in a good part of the city, with food, with everything for like some ridiculous number, $470, which you couldn't, shit, you'd spend that in a week there. I don't even know. Maybe if you like are some super cheapy, super brokey, and like that's the only way you can survive. I want to get my thumbnail. Try to get that in here. I just want the chicks. I just want the guys. Let's get it. Thumbnail achieved. So yeah, that guy put out quite a bit of a bunch of stuff like that. Some of the other stuff, I don't know if it's misinformation or not. But that one hit a nerve. If you go to like the comment section on that one, it's just people just shitting on this dude. Like, I'm not big into that clickbait style stuff. Like, it's not really my method of doing social media, YouTube and stuff. I get it, clickbaiting works. I just don't find it to be that cool of a thing. So yeah, they're in his comments and they're like, this guy only left wherever he's from because he couldn't make any money, couldn't get any chicks, he couldn't do any, like that comment is in there so many times. And then people saying, of course, like I said, that the price range is insane. I think it's $470, you said, for an apartment, eating out food, all this shit. Like when somebody makes one here, for example, it's annoying. Like, there's been a couple big YouTubers here that have made a price of living in Vietnam, and they're saying like $550 a month total with food. I mean, it could be maybe possible. Like, maybe if you're living in like a tiny little apartment in some lady's house or something, and if you eat banh mi for every meal or a pho, and you just drink water, and you get the cheapest SIM phone cell package, like it could possibly be possible. But is it really possible? Like, realistically, for 98% of people, that budget's not real, you know? You've got to have some money to live anywhere. I don't care how cheap it is. Like I said, my budget still remains the same. You can technically do Saigon for around $1,000 to $1,200. If you want to actually have money and build a future and invest in things, you're going to want to be at the $2,000 budget. And if you party like an animal, all the time, 24/7, you're gonna need $3 grand a month, period. That is the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Stay frosty. We'll see you on the next one. Smash that like button. Definitely drop a comment on what you think about this video. I want to get some feedback. So, all right, guys. Peace out.